Auzubillahiminash-shaytanir-rajim. Bismillahir-rahmanir-rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Oladimiji T.A., the SS2 physics teacher of CTY Model College, Ibadan. I'm welcoming you to the second period of physics of our e-learning class for this week. And remember, in the last period, we started light waves. And we were able to look at sources of light, where we examine the natural and man-made sources, luminous and non-luminous sources. Then we were able to look at transparent object, translucent object, and opaque object. Then we ended it with rectilinear propagation of light. And I promised last period that rectilinear propagation of light is going to be our topic which we are starting with for this second period. And as I promised, the topic that is going to be this first subtopic we are going to look under this light wave for this period is rectilinear propagation of light. What is rectilinear propagation of light? As I discussed in the last period, I said the fact that light rays always travel along a straight line is called the rectilinear propagation of light. Light always travel along a straight line, and we can perform experiments to demonstrate it. So let's look at the following two experiments to demonstrate the fact that light always travels along a straight line. The first experiment: make two cardboard pipes, one straight and the other bent. Light two candles and place one on each end of the cardboard pipe. Then view the candles through the other end of each pipe. Let's look at step 1 to step 3, what they want us to do in this diagram. Yes, look at the diagram. There are two cardboards. One is straight and the other is bent. And two candles are lit, and we place each of them at the end of each cardboard. Then we will go to the other end and look through and see whether we will see the flame of the candle. Observation: it is observed that the flame from the candle placed at the end of a straight cardboard pipe is seen clearly, but no light is seen at the end of the bent cardboard pipe. This is what they are saying. If you now go to the other end of the cardboard and you look through it, you will see the light which is coming from the cardboard that is straight, but you won't be able to see the light coming from the bent cardboard. What do we conclude from this? This shows that light ray travel along a straight line, because if light waves or ray is like water waves, when the cardboard is bent, light ray is supposed to maneuver its way out so that we'll be able to see it. But because it is bent, it encounters an obstacle. Then it cannot negotiate its way out. It means it cannot travel along a bent path. It always travels along a straight line. So that experiment 1 confirms that light travels along a straight line. Let's look at experiment 2. Experiment 2, step 1. Punch a tiny hole in the center of each 3 equally spaced cardboards. Step 2. Arrange the cardboards in a straight line in front of each other. Step 3. Pass a string through the hole and pull it taut to ensure the holes are aligned in a straight line. Step 4. Place a lit candle at the end of the row of cards and fill the candle through the other end. Let me show you all these steps in this diagram. Look at the diagram. There are 3 cardboards and a hole is punched at the center of each cardboard. Then the cardboards are arranged in a straight line. Then we pass through a string through the holes and make it taut so that we'll be able to show that the holes are aligned on a straight line. Then a lit candle is placed at the end of the row of the cardboards. Then we will now go to the other end and observe the light rays coming from the candle. Because the hole are in a straight line, we're able to see the light rays, the light reflection from the other end of the rows of the cardboard. Then let's go to the observation. It is observed that the light from the candle flame can be seen through the other end. But if any of the cardboard is slightly shifted out of the straight line position, the light is cut off. This is what they are saying. Out of these 3 cardboards that are in straight line now, if the middle cardboard is now shifted a bit so that it's no longer in straight line, the central is no longer in straight line with the other 2 cardboards, and we look at the end of the rows, we won't be able to see the light ray coming from the candle again, because the central hole is no longer in a straight line with the other 2, meaning that light ray cannot pass through the blocked part. So it means that light ray can only travel along a straight line, and since the line has been disturbed, it cannot be propagated out of the holes again. So in conclusion, the experiment shows that light travels along a straight line. So the 2 experiments so far performed has concluded that light always travels along a straight line. And this fact or phenomenon of light traveling along a straight line that we call the rectilinear propagation of light has some effects. And the effects can be natural or man-made. So out of the effect of rectilinear propagation of light, we have formation of shadows, formation of eclipses, and the principle of pinhole camera. Out of the 3, the first 2 are natural, while the third one is a man-made effect. That is, the formation of shadows and the formation of eclipses are natural effects, but the action or principle of operation of pinhole camera is a man-made effect. Now let's look at the first effect of rectilinear propagation of light, formation of shadows. What is a shadow? A shadow is an area where light rays cannot reach due to the obstruction of an opaque object. Remember, an opaque object is an object that does not allow any light to pass through it. So if an opaque object is placed along the path traveling by light rays, the opaque object will now block the rays of light from passing or getting across to the other side. Then the shadow of that opaque object will now be cast if a screen is placed at the other side. So a shadow is an area where light rays cannot reach due to the obstruction of an opaque object. And the nature of the shadow's form depends on the source of the light and the distance between the opaque object and the source of light. So there are 2 types of shadows that can be formed depending on the source of light. If there is a point source of light, the shadow will be uniformly dark, and there will be only one area of darkness, which is called the umbra. But if the light source is an extended source, that is a large source of light is used, then when the shadow is formed, there will be two areas or regions that will be observable. Some region will be totally dark, while some will be partially dark. The area that is totally dark is called the umbra, while the one that is partially dark is called the penumbra. Let me read. The nature of the shadow form depends on the source of the light and the distance between the opaque object and the light source. A point source of light forms a sharp shadow with a complete uniform darkness called umbra, while an extended or a large source of light forms a shadow of different degree of darkness. The region of total darkness is called the umbra, while the region of partial darkness is called the penumbra. Let me show you what they are saying in this diagram. Let's look at the first diagram. Here, the source of light is a point source of light, and this is an opaque object on the way. When light rays are coming, some rays are blocked by the opaque object, while the rays at the edges pass through. Then the screen is placed at the other side of the opaque object, and the shadow of that opaque object is cast on the screen. You can see that we have a sharp image of the opaque object formed, and the shadow form is uniformly dark, and this is what we call umbra. Only one region is observable, and that is known as umbra because it is totally dark. But the case is not like this when we have an extended source of light, as we have in this diagram. Pardon me, this is the diagram. This is the diagram. An extended source of light. You can see the source of light is large, and when light rays passes through the opaque object, the shadow cast on the screen, there are two observable areas. There is inner area that is totally black and uniformly dark, that is the umbra, while there are outer areas that is partially dark, it's not totally black, and that is penumbra. So in a shadow, the area of total darkness is called umbra, while the area of partial darkness is called penumbra. Now, this is where we are ending this period, the second period of physics of our e-learning class for this week. Remember, this is not the last period. We still have one period to go for this week, which is going to be the third period. And until then, when I will come your way again, my name is Oladimiji T.A., your physics teacher. I'm saying Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.